were young, they was just coming out. You see what I'm saying? Like that's when hip hop was really coming out in our generation. What it really was kind of like the 70s, kind of like late 70s, 80s on up. You know what I'm saying? When it started forming. So we are part of the beginning.
Yeah. Right.
And I feel like the music now is a reflection of like what the generation is like, and like what like how fast things move.
Right.
Like even just looking up top and just looking at these the magazine covers again, I hate to go back to them, but you can almost remember like when you was wearing throwbacks, and like what you were reading, and like all these magazines you remember like actually having to physically read. Now it's sad because like a lot of these magazines don't exist. Some of these magazines don't exist anymore. Nobody really reads anymore.
Right.
Like, and then
everything's so fast.
It's digital. Everything's digital.
Yeah, and it's so quick. Like I was talking to somebody who was a big blogger. He was a big music blogger, because I remember like 5 years ago that was like the place.
Thing.
If you wanted to find new music, you would go on
on
your music blogs. And I was talking to him today, and I was talking to him like probably a couple weeks ago, man. And he was telling me, he's like, our careers are dead. He's like, now like no artists even want to like put their stuff on blogs anymore, like because they don't matter, because nobody's gonna click on them anymore, because everybody is now getting their music on playlists. And I was telling him, I was like, it's crazy. I was like, because people won't read. He was like, that's the scary part, because even with blogs, you still read the post. Like, oh, there's this new R&B singer, drummer, Anderson .Paak. You should check him out. He has this, and that. He's from this place, and you had to read all this stuff.
Yep.
Now he's just on a playlist. You click play, you're like, oh, okay, I like his track. Cool. Yeah, that's it.
And I used to go to Two Dope Boys every day.
Yeah. Like, I remember when I was on Two Dope Boys, it was like the big. That's like what made like I got so many fans originally off of just being on Two Dope Boys one time, and it was crazy. I remember it feeling like. Oh snap, like it's about to blow. But then now, like you on Two Dope Boys now, and it's like
it's not even.
You don't even go on there.
It doesn't even have like that luster to it no more.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
it's wild.
Sucks.
Man, I forgot the artist. He used to manage Eve.
Stevie J.
No,
that was her boyfriend.
That's boyfriend.
He better not ever let him manage her damn career. Shit.
Stevie J.
You said it with confidence too. Oh yeah, Stevie J. No, afraid not. Afraid not, sir. Stevie J's the manager. I'd come fight Eve. She ever did some shit like that.
Right.
She's like one of my top
she was about
favorites.
married Stevie J. Shit.
Nah, that wasn't gonna happen. You gotta listen to the Scorpion album. That was not happening.
Except Faith Evans is dating him now.
Yeah, Faith Evans is dating him. I wouldn't date Stevie
And
J.
isn't Eve like married to some like
to a white billionaire? Billionaire.
Over
Goals.
there in England.
That's goals. All 2017.
Yeah, he's a race car dude.
Yep.
Like F1 racing.
He does
Serena, all them bitches. Yeah. Them is goals, bro. Yeah, that's what she said.
That's my goals, man. To do a gumball, man.
Yeah, that shit looks crazy.
Yeah, with Bumby. Exactly.
There you go.
Everybody want to pull a Janet Jackson, didn't they?
I mean, I can't even blame him though,
That's the wave.
Serena done came up with a white dude.
You said a gumball.
Yeah, like
Don't you do it?
the driving.
I mean,
like supercars and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, like I am a big car fan. Like if I could,
I don't know if I would do it.
You'll do it.
You hop in the supercar and just
Supercar?
But they go across the world.
Yeah, everywhere. Any continent.
Be hanging.
Yep.
It's cool.
You'll do it. It looks
You
fun
would
as
do
shit.
it. I
Trust
guarantee
me.
you would do it.
No, explain to me what it is now.
So E's husband is this dude named Maximilian, and this like his real name.
Damn, his name is.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
Yeah, and he got like crazy money, so he started this thing.
Hey, find her.
Don't worry about it.
How'd
That's
you
a
find
blessing.
him? I don't know.
Gwen
Last person, I don't
Stefani.
know.
She was like that. Yes.
Hey, right.
God be looking out.
Yeah, but he's bad too. She's real bad. But they had this
on him, bro.
Huh?
She threw it on him, but keep going.
Hey, right, exactly. Hey, right,
Sink it,
exactly.
nigga.
Those paws.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Right here. Come here, boy.
Bull in the skirt.
Yeah.
want
Long
one?
story short, he got this thing called Gumball, and it's like you go. It's like how many miles? Like 10,000, something crazy.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
it's like a big road trip, but it's a road trip all around the world.
Oh,
so
okay.
You'll be there with like sheiks, and you'll be there with like. It'll be all types of cats with just like crazy money, princes and stuff like that, celebrities, etc. So like, you just hear like the craziest stories. Like the car might break down, and then they'll just get like a helicopter to fly them to the next
They'll
city.
just leave it in the desert.
Yeah, they'll leave it. They'll leave like Lambos in the desert and stuff.
Pick it up.
And it'll be like
Pick it up for me.
like a 24 karat gold plated.
Yeah.
Body.
Yeah.
Like,
I roll with
oh,
them.
I
broke down.
told you.
Yeah.
What's going
So
on
what you
here?
do is you get a crew of like 5 cats, and then y'all all just like get like a Range Rover or something, and then y'all all just like ride the whole time.
Yeah.
And you just go from city to city.
It's a no-brainer, bro.
It's like Adventure Tours, like the Lambo Adventures. Like you see some supercars, there's only like 100 of them made.
Shows you cars ain't crap. I work for him, trust me.
Damn.
Cheaply built.
Oh man,
So did you ever find out who her manager was, bro?
Yeah, Troy Carter.
Yeah,
Troy Carter.
Yeah, he's talking about Troy Carter, and he has like some stake in Spotify, also, and he was just saying like how back then how it took like 6 years to break Eve, and then somebody else that he worked with, it took like I'm saying like 2 years, and then I think like Lady Gaga, once she got really popping, it was like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Then like Meghan Trainor was 90 days.
yeah.
So it shrunk so much, but due to people not having to read blogs, doing the playlist, like he knew that, like Spotify, like, because even me now, I can't even front. Like when I got on the 2 Dope Boys, it was a little bit later on. So that's how I got turned on to Ellie Dollar, Big Crit, and a couple of other like artists or whatever. But I was like later on with it, I would have like playlist is more like my thing because it's more easier just to be like, oh, okay, boom, who is this artist? And then you just like research, and then you can take your time if you want to, as opposed to like
Being rushed.
yeah.
Understandable. What was that?
So how did you come up with the title of the project, Same Sky? Like, where's it come from?
It came from the song Rainbows. So on there I said we might not all pray to the same God, have the same taste, but we all got the same sky. And then like right after that, I was having a conversation with you. I was having a conversation with Rashad actually, and we were just talking about maybe just like politics or just like what's going on today in the nation or whatever. And we were just talking about like just different stuff. And I was like, you know what? I was like, Same Sky. I was like, you know what? I think it's going to be the title. And that was literally what I said after getting off the phone. Getting off the phone with this guy, I was like, you know what? I think it's going to be a title. But it was just a perfect way to sum up like self-love and being cool with being happy with yourself and also being okay with the fact that people are different.
Right.
Like I feel like me and Lorenzo actually we went to the Ali funeral, and it was so crazy seeing like how like dope and how black Ali was. He's such like a symbol for us.
He was
like
very black.
he's so we're like stingy with Ali.
Yeah,
we're like,
get
yo,
off
he's
of
ours.
him.
Like he's ours.
Yeah.
But it was so and we all know that like Ali was just like he was so like outspoken for blacks that made it like so dope. It just made it so dope to be black as if we already didn't know that, but I think that was crazy. But then what was also crazy was like while we was there when we seen like Indian chiefs and we seen like
everybody.
like everybody from all these different races and religions and stuff, and they were all like, yo, Ali like touch me, not even in a way like they were like, oh, Ali gave me like $50,000. They weren't even like that. They were just like, yo, Ali, like his presence and like how peaceful he was and who he was. So it was so dope to be like. So that kind of triggered something in my head. I was like, man, it's really how you should live your life is being happy, being yourself, and like exuding that. Like, don't be afraid to be as black as you want to be because people are gonna love you regardless for it.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is they're gonna love you for it because they're also happy with who they are, and they're cool with living in a world where people are different than them.
And man, to piggyback off of that, I was at work and you hear, just an example, we had this guy and this guy at work, he's just him all the time. And most of the time we'd be like, well, he's a fucking nigga. He's nuts. This nigga's wild. You know what I'm saying? That's what you would say or whatever. But, and I don't know why this is. You get to work and some black people be like, man, damn, why is he acting like that around like the white people or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And it's just how, I don't know what it is. I can't tell you why that person feels that way. And I can't tell you why. Well, I can explain why he's doing whatever he does because he's cool with himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he understands and they respect him because he's the same all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not a facade. He's not trying to do like anything different or whatever. So, they just respect it or whatever. But I don't know why that is. It's kind of
That's
like
some old slave mentality shit.
Yeah, no, it is for sure.
For sure. Anytime we get around white people, it's like you try to. I know. I was somewhere and I said nigga. My sister was like, "You said nigga too loud." I was like, "Oh, what am I scared of?" Like, I'll walk over here and be like, "You niggas." Like, I mean, why are we over here like, "Oh, I'm sorry, nigga, shut up." Like, no, like
I think it's superiority complex.
Yeah, it is.
But what's crazy is like people will respect you even more if you're okay with being who you are.
Right.
I'm not saying go out here
and be wilding, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what up, cracker? Like, no, don't do that shit. But
don't be disrespectful.
Especially if that ain't who you are. I mean,
like,
it might be who you are though.
Ali goes, he his character, and even behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Open door. He was just always himself or whatever.
Right.
So and he stood up for a lot of different things. So it took a lot of courage just to do that.
Right.
Probably a lot of the I think in the movie when I seen like Joe Frazier was like, man, you need some money. And you know what I'm saying, like you need some help, and he was like, man, I shouldn't even be seen with you or whatever. He was like, what are you doing? And Ali was like, man, you know, and I know that you know that I'm the champ, motherfucker. Don't play yourself. And you know, to see that it's kind of like, damn, this man is on his back. You know what I'm saying? And you can take money from the dude, but he's like, nah, I'm good. You know, it's beyond pride because you know how they feel like, man, black man got something pride, but in that era and in that time, we needed him to have that pride in order so we can see it. You know
Just
what I'm saying?
imagine if we didn't have Ali back.
Well, you got to also think about it. Ali's in the to me, Ali is as important to me as Martin Luther King or Malcolm X.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have to think about it.
Definitely.
Also, if they were living in this time at the ages of like 25 and 24, of which they were speaking out, they would be blasted like Colin Kaepernick. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because it took for Martin Luther King to die for black people as far as black churches to just acknowledge him really.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really don't even realize that because it was like, oh, you're going against the grain.
Yeah.
And now that you're in a society now where it's not, they say it's about having identity, but people are suffering through identity crisis. That's really what it is because it's like, they say stay true to yourself.
Yeah.
But even in staying true to yourself, sometimes you treat it as if you're a pariah. So
true.
like, well, is that's like a catch-22. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you're not.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, well, what do you for people like me and you and for people who are soon to be married and have kids and stuff, like how do you tell your kids to stand above everybody and still hold that standard and that bar that you have within your house, the standards that you have set when they are going to school and they're going up against a multitude of people who tell them that they're wrong.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I think it's where that whole like being true to yourself. I think that's where that all comes into play. I think if you could teach your kids anything, it's like that confidence that like who they are is great. And I think that with that, everything else will just kind of like float around them. Like I think that's what's so dope about like the Speed Show, for instance. Like it was so many different people there. Yeah. It was all types of different people
Man,
there.
it was so many.
It was jam packed.
And the lamest, it was so many motherfuckers there would have never came to the Speed Art Museum if he didn't perform.
Right.
They would have never thought about coming, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's people there that rolled past the Speed Art Museum 1,000 fucking times.
And didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Exactly.
Right.
And it
You know
was
what I'm saying?
and it was crazy because it was like there's
crazy.
because you might have some black folks that was there that might have been like, yo, I would have never even, I don't even know what the Speed Museum is.
Yeah.
You might have some white folks that is like, oh, okay, well I've been to the Speed Museum, but I never thought I would be coming to see hip hop.
Right.
But then it's crazy because it's like even though we were on the stage and we were doing our music, we weren't like whitewashing our music. We weren't trying to like make our music appeal for the Speed. And that's what it's all about. I think it's what it's all about. It's like literally just be yourself at all times. Like
and music is so universal too. Like,
yeah.
I mean it's.
I feel like being in this band is probably the biggest thing that I've seen out of being in the band. You know what I'm saying? Because the many places that we go, and as many places as James is accepted or whatever, it's just kind of like, even when we did Fort Castle, bro, I didn't know nothing about I knew about it 2 years prior, and people were like, we're going to Fort Castle, and I was just kind of like, shit, that ain't Gucci Mane and Cole's. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can be, like, that's not that. That's not that. Or whatever. And then he was like, when I was telling people I'm doing Fort Castle, they were like, what? And I'm just like,
oh.
Yeah. You know?
Like, yeah, guys.
Yeah, like whatever. Until after we did it, and I was like, oh shit.
Then you realize.
I'm in the back making ginger smoothies and with carrots and shit, like juice drinks. Like, where do they do that at, bro? I was
juicing?
No, I was juicing before the show. They had a whole tent. They had a tent.
I remember that
plethora of so much stuff.
Juice.
I was just kind of like,
the buffet.
Juice.
Everything.
Yeah, so like that juice.
Yeah, juice.
Hey, low key,
That's some juice.
festivals, the best part of going to a festival is the artist buffet.
I bet it is. I bet.
Yes.
At every festival.
Shouts out to the dude Vane, bro. Because Vane, I love Vane. Every time, I think Susie came on, I think we had some 4 Roses or something. Every band got like a bottle or something. So we all like, got like a little drink. Vane looked at me, he was like, man, you gonna take a sip? I'm thinking like, man, I'm gonna take a sip, man. Like, come on, let's go. But every time we get together, he look at me like, bourbon? I'm like, yeah. Bourbon.
Yes, please.
Yeah, but at the Speed Art, he did the same thing.
See? Yep.
But I think like that's what encompasses like Same Sky as far as the CD, because like the guy, y'all didn't hear the guy who the dude with the glasses who was doing the sound in the back, along with him saying like he's never seen this much people. He was like, I've never seen a hip hop or anything bring so much people from different walks of life. And I try to explain that to people because people are like, well, you know, what type of music? And I'm like, well, it's hip hop and R&B mix. I said, but we do a whole bunch of stuff because you got to think about it. Christian, the bass player, does bluegrass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Shaw, we come from most of us all come from church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you take all these people, black, white,